Hello, I'm Shukla Choudhury and welcome to my online class. Today, our poem is Dover Beach, written by the famous poet Matthew Arnold. Now, Matthew Arnold was an English poet and cultural critic whose work remains among the best known of 19th century English poetry. He wrote on a variety of subjects, but is best known for his poems on nature, modern society, and moral instruction. Matthew Arnold, along with Lord Tennyson and Robert Browning, were the three great Victorian poets. The simplicity, lucidity, straightforwardness, literalness, use of orate words or far-fetched words made his poems effective. The poem Dover Beach is a dramatic monologue, and it presents the ephemeral human feeling of sadness through the image of the sea. The poet expresses his view that the despair, hopelessness, and frustration in the world is due to the decline of religious faith. The poem is marked by elegiac tone, a lamentation on the declining faith in religion. It is written in a sad mood. The poet writes, "The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full, the moon lies fair upon the straits." Dover Beach is a dramatic monologue. A single person who is not known, or rather known to be the poet, utters the speech in a specific situation that makes up the whole of the poem. The poet speaks through the medium of an imagined character, though we do not know whether that character is the poet himself or not. Perhaps it's him, perhaps not. But that character achieves the same objectivity as characterizes a drama. That imagined speaker or character is presumably a lover standing at the window and describing the beauty of the seashore to his companion, which he come to know from phrases such as "come to the window, listen, ah, love, and let us be true." These phrases tell us that this person, this character, is with his companion. The sea, according to the speaker, is calm and the tide is high. The white moonlight falls upon the straits. Here, the strait refers to the Strait of Dover, which connects the English Channel to the North Sea. The poet, looking across the English Channel, which separates England from France, sees a light that shines out and then disappears, gleams and is gone. Here the poet hints at the message of the poem, that is the light of faith in God and religion, which was once quite strong, but now it's flickering. The poet then looks back at his own coast. Here he sees the famous white cliffs which are composed of chalks. Chalk is a limestone that erodes easily. The fact that they are eroding further develops the theme of weakening of the light of faith. On the French coast, the light glimmers and is gone. The cliffs of England stands glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. This passage also hints that if there is any hope left in this dark world, it is to be found in England, whereas the French coastline's gleam is gone, but the English cliffs stand glimmering and vast. The speaker then calls his companion to join him at the window to experience the sweet scent of the night air. Listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling at their return up the high strand. Begin and cease, and then again begin with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the external note of sadness in. The poet, instead of looking at the beautiful landscape as a whole, turns his attention to a specific point where the sea meets the moon-blanched land. Here, the word blanched means whitened and refers to the bright moonlight which makes the entire area look white. The next few lines are direct contrast to the pleasing and peaceful description of the seashore. At their return, up the high strand, begin and cease, and then again begin. With tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. The poet asks his beloved to listen to the harsh sound of the pebbles as they strike against the shore when the waves advance. When the waves retreat, they throw the pebbles on the sandy shore of the sea. The rise and fall of the waves in a set pattern produces a slow trembling kind of music, which brings in a note of melancholy, which is everlasting. In other words, the slow music of waves makes the poet gloomy. He is, in fact, in a sad mood, and the waves only reflect his state of mind. The poet is reminded of Sophocles, a great Greek dramatist who had a similar experience. As he says, Sophocles long ago heard it on Aegon, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow. Long ago, Sophocles listened to the sound of the ocean, the Aegean Sea that lies between Greece and Asia Minor, and he too found the note of sadness in that sound. That sound reminded him of all the wild confusion and distress prevailing in human life, and he gave expression to it in his tragic plays. Like Sophocles, Arnold too is reminded of eternal human misery as he listens to the slow sound of the ocean water. Thus, both of them had same thoughts in a similar situation. The sea of faith was once too at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of the bright girdle furled. Here, the faith that humankind once had in Christianity and religion is compared to a sea. The poet says that just as the sea is full now, once upon a time the world was full of faith. The sea here becomes a symbol of faith. The sea of faith once used to permeate the people's lives, protecting them from doubt and despair. Once the sea had encircled the whole world. However, the sea of faith has receded. It was once there, full of flow, but now it is at its ebb. Darwinism brought science into full conflict with religion, leaving behind bare and naked shingles as the wind of the night begins to blow. In other words, the religious faith is declining, giving rise to doubts, confusions, uncertainties, and sadness, leaving mankind dejected. In the final section, the poet turns from the troubling scene to his love and says that they should be true to each other because love is the final truth and the last human resource. The poet believes that this world only looks beautiful, but in reality, it's the love that makes the world beautiful. Hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light? So the poet says, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. The world is swallowed by darkness, it is deceptive and is mere shadow without any substance. The poet ends with a note of pessimism. It is a battlefield and people are turning against one another, forgetting faith and humanity and feeling themselves with a sense of hopelessness and despair. The Victorian age was an age of scientific and technological advancement. Industrialization, urbanization changed the minds of the people. The life of common people were marked by doubts, confusion, and uncertainties. As the faith in God and religion declined, a feeling of sadness consumed humanity. This poem is written in such a sad mood. It is basically a lyric, but its tone of melancholy turns into elegy, a lamentation on the declining faith in religion. And now, that's all for today. Take care. Goodbye.